Hello and welcome to the Garageband Basics tutorial. Today I will be walking you through the basic step-by-step process to set up a GarageBand session. First, we're going to load up GarageBand. My GarageBand is located in my dock, so it is an electric guitar. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and while it's loading, if it's not in your dock, you can locate it on the Macintosh HD in your applications section of your hard drive. So when you load up, it's going to give you this this start screen. Depending upon, it will be different depending upon whether or not you've used the program before. In this case, I've used it recently, so it's going to load up my recent projects, which you can see right here. If you have not loaded before, it's going to look like this. You can see all the different options you can select to create a project. But in this case, since we are doing spoken word, the best option to select is podcast. So it's highlighted in blue already, but in case it's not, go ahead and click on it and it'll be highlighted in blue and you can click choose. Once you click choose, you'll be given a save box where you can name your project, designate where it's to be saved, and alter different aspects of the project if you are doing music. And since we're not doing music, this part is not going to be altered. So I'm going to go ahead and name my project GarageBand PD, and I'll click create. When it clicks create, it will, wherever you designate to save, it will create a GarageBand project icon, which in this case it'll be on my desktop and it'll appear right below the click clack moo icon, and it'll look exactly like the GarageBand icon right here. So I'll click create, and there it is right there, and it loads right up to the workspace, which is this right here. And the workspace is separated into four basic areas. The first area, which is the podcast track right here, the tracks area, will show you which voice or which track you're recording to, in which case it's highlighted in blue. This one says it's the male voice, and you can see my voice come over the graphic equalizer right here. You also have the female voice and the jingles section. It does not matter where you record it or which track you record it to. You can separate it into different tracks if you so desire, or you can do it all on one track. For this project, I'm going to be using just one track. You can change it however you wish to do it, but since that's not relevant to our project, we'll save that for another PD session. The audio region gives you a closer view of your recording. Since this is an advanced function, we're not going to talk much about that as well. This is the effects window where you can change different things like the style of voice. You can install pictures, movies, and other music from this as well as your sound effects. We will be talking about the sound effects later on. The fourth region is this region down here that has your interface buttons. It has your rewind and fast forwarding queuing buttons, the rewind to the beginning button, which will change to a stop button when the GarageBand play button is pushed, which is this, or the record icon is pushed as well. And this is a track indicator indicating how long in digital format you have recorded your project. This is the loops button, which is what we'll get to a little bit later to get to our sound effects. Now when you click the record button, it will start right away, but you also can install a function to give you or your students some time to get ready to speak, and that's the count in right here. So I'll go ahead and select count in. So when I click record, it's going to give me a chime and a 3, 2, 1 countdown before it starts to record. And it sounds a lot like a bunch of clicking, and then it will start to record. And you can see how it records on the interface in front of you. The red line shows the beginning, and the red streak behind it is the recorded voice, in this case my lovely voice. So you can record however long you want, but if you want to stop it at any time, you can. All you have to do is click the stop button or you can click the record button. But if you do click the record button, it will not stop the indicator from moving. So it's best that you click the stop button, which will stop everything all at once, and you can go all the way back to the beginning as you wish. Now, if you want to alter your recording, say split a track and install a chime for a page turn, all you have to do is click and drag your icon using the seconds indicator up here to wherever you want to install your sound effect. I'll just say right here, and the next step will be to split the track. So if you want to split the track, you go up to your edit, click on split, or you can hit your command button and the letter T. Well, I'll just use the mouse since I'm already there, and you can see that it splits the track just like that. I can move this a little bit to the side so you can see it's split. So all I can do is I can move this and spread this apart. I can loop by going to the top right and dragging however I want to do it. Now, to install a page chime or a page chime like to turn the page, all I have to do is move this to the side. Then the next step will be to install the sound effect. Well, let's say you find a spot where, oops, I've made a mistake, and it's right in this area right here. So I'm going to go ahead and split the track again, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the track that I want to split. Click split. Click on this. Let's say I want to get rid of this. I've clicked on what I want deleted, and I click the delete button on your keyboard, and it is gone. Same thing as if you said, oh, I made a mistake, oops, I want to undo it. I can go ahead and hit undo as well. I'm going to go ahead and continue with the delete. Next is to install the chime or the sound effect. To do that, you go to the bottom right corner and click the loops icon right here. And this will change the this area right here to a sound effects icon, which sound effects box, which is right here. You can look at all the effects just by clicking on it, or you can go to certain special things. Like I'm going to go to sound effects, and I can look at booms. Hey, I'd like to have this booming rumble. So let's click on that. We can look on it. If we want to listen to it, we can click on it. And you can see that it lasts for exactly 3 seconds. And you can view and review as you will. Well, I like this volcano erupting, but it's 41 seconds, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it again, which will stop it. But let's just say that I like this booming reverse number 1. It's 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds long, and I want to install into my project. So I click and drag it. Now I can click and drag it right to another track, like the female voice track or the jingles, or I can just put it right there into my track. So that way, when I click and replay it back, so I click back here and I hit the play icon, you can hear that it installs right into the project. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to exit out of this project. I'm not going to save it, but I'm going to show you one that I've done before. So this is a project that I've done before, and this is Click Clack Moo, the Cows That Type. And as you notice, I've already recorded my voice here and installed many of the sound effects. And if I wanted to go ahead and complete it, I would go ahead and track through and install the sound effects and all the splits. But let's just say that for the sake of time that we have finished our project, we are ready to share it with the world, and you want to export it. So you need to go up to Share, click Share, and then go to the Export Podcast to Disk. You can also burn it to a CD if you so desire, and send it to Podcast to iTunes if you're a blogger and wish to do that. But for the sake of this educational activity, we'll go ahead and just export it to disk. So once we do that, this will load up, and you have 2 different styles that you can save it to. AAC encoder, which will save it as an MP4 project, and the MP3 encoder, which will give you a little bit less quality, but will be able to be played by more recorders. I'm going to keep it as the AAC and keep it as high quality and go ahead and click export. It will then again ask you to name your track and ask you where you want to save it. So I want to keep it on the desktop and I want to keep it as click clack moo, and I'll go ahead and click save. And I've already done that, but it will then go to a taskbar. It'll take anywhere between 30 seconds to several minutes, depending how large a file you've made it. But once it's done, and I'm going to go ahead and get out of it. Once it's done, it will look like this icon right here, the music note and a black background, unless you installed some pictures or video, in which case it may give you a still shot of what it is that you have saved on it. This concludes our podcast tutorial or our GarageBand tutorial. Thank you very much for listening.